Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? It's the Man-Child. Okay, so today up for review, I'm going to go over the Master Universe, Masterverse, Revolution, Battle Armor He-Man figure, part of the Wave 12 series. So I already reviewed Mechaneck and Triclops, which were both new Eternity figures. I think they were both incredible for the most part, and in the comments, most people did too. You know, some gripes here and there, and I have them too. Nothing's perfect, but for what they are, they look cool. So I'm guessing this is going to be the newer style or look for He-Man in the Revolution cartoon. Obviously, that's what it's based on. That cartoon doesn't drop. I think January 25th is the release date on, of course, Netflix. But anyway, I'm excited to get another remastered version of He-Man to add to the Masterverse once again, because now we're getting a Battle Armor that is removable to where the new Eternia Battle Armor He-Man armor wasn't. I'll bring them and compare them later to show you if you're not familiar. But I'm excited to try this out on Classics. I'm going to try it on the Origins, the 40th anniversary. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of everything. Anyway, so if you're not familiar, this is the new style with the newer Masterverse and the new Eternia packaging is doing to the figures. It's not exactly windowless, but, you know, they do give you a large enough window to see the figure and maybe an accessory. I love the new style art they have on the box. So here we have Battle Armor He-Man. Yeah, with his axe raised. Even has a slash going across the chest. So I'm assuming he has one or two plates that I guess snap in. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out once I get them out of the box. We have some palace guards in the background here. I'm assuming at some point we're going to see those in the Masterverse or with the Revolution line as far as the figures go. And yeah, it's just exciting to see a new He-Man once again added in the series. And we also see a newer head, which I'm excited about. It does look pretty cool. But again, once we get a closer look at it, we'll see if we like it. And now here's a quick look at the picture images on the back of the box. So yeah, of course we have a picture image of the main He-Man figure himself with the battle armor, you know, axe in hand. We got some Shadow Beasts going in the background. That would be cool. I'd like to see those in the Masterverse. The Classics put out one, which is a really cool, and that figure does work well with the Masterverse. I have it added to my collection. And just some other images here of, okay, so He-Man again with the battle armor axe. He does come with his iconic cross armor, and I'm wondering if it's different from the first release Revelation He-Man, which, again, I'll bring it in and compare it. And then, of course, it shows a single strike in the chest plate. And here's a closer look at this new Battle Armor He-Man's bio. You want to pause and read that. And dropping down, here's a look at all four figures as part of this Wave 12 Masterverse series. The only one I don't have is King Keldor, and he's not going to be released till after the Revolution cartoon airs on January 25th. And here's some more additional art on the left-hand side of the box, looking in from the window. So yeah, we just see the battle scene going on with lightning, some palace guards in the background. You notice we have Andrea here standing in this picture image because if you read the bio, apparently she creates the battle armor for He-Man, I guess going back to the Revolution cartoon. And now here's the other piece of art of He-Man with his two different forms, right? The battle armor set up and with the cross armored on the right-hand side of the box, looking from the window. And now here's a quick look with the new battle armor He-Man out of the box and what to expect those accessories. So far in hand, yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing as far as the head sculpt, the new battle armor. It looks like he has a larger chest. And so you get a newer cross armored, which, you know, of course we'll get into detail in a little while. It is larger than the first release, which once again I'll compare. You get a new style axe, which looks really cool. I haven't seen this before. A pair of double punching fists. And yeah, I'm surprised it didn't come with an open hand. I'm getting a lot of comments like that with the larger style pegs for the new Eternia Triclops figure, which didn't come with one. I was hoping this He-Man would retrofit that figure if he wanted that. And then he comes with just a single strike chest plate. I was hoping he would come with two. The other thing is he doesn't come with a power sword. I'm surprised at that. Now, there are a couple different cool power swords between the 40th anniversary and the other battle armor we can bring in, and I will. But beside that, it's pretty much what you're getting, and looks good so far. And now, taking a closer look at the new Battle Armor He-Man head and face sculpt, I really like it. You know, it's a lot better than the first release one. Little bland in the mouth or the tone. I kind of wish had a little bit of teeth showing or a battle-ready face or come with two heads with, you know, face similar to this, or the mouth rather, and then, yeah, battle-ready head as I always call it. But for what it is, it looks better, I think, than the first release one. And just bring a quick comparison, because I still have it. And if you're not familiar, here's the first release Revelation He-Man head compared to the Revolution He-Man head. And, yeah, they're sort of similar, but yeah, this one's way better. It's wider in the face, the tan color, the way the hair sculpted. Yeah, this had yellow in the skin. It looked, yeah, I don't care for this one. This one's much better for a current He-Man in the Masterverse or now Revolution line. As far as the articulation, right, it's all the typical stuff. It can look left to right. He can go down about that far and all the way back, but you can just see the detail in the eyes. So he also has a wash on the face too, like a tan, almost like sunburn. I get a lot of comments with that with a lot of newer figures too, like the Triclops and things like that. Doesn't always match the skin tone and the body. It's sort of different. I mean, yeah, I noticed this theme with a lot of Masterverse figures. Even the classics did that too. I just chalk it up to some battle damage or dirt, or like I said, sunburn in the face, and the body didn't happen to get it or something like that. You see that in movies too with certain characters. Anyway, but you can see all the sculpting in the hair. I like the couple different tones in the wash and just the overall design of it. So moving down to the chest and buck, and of course the most important part, the new battle armor that is removable. Yeah, that's a really cool design for Masterverse. I like it, and it's not too like it's not really a flat gray color. It has a metallic silver color, going back to like the vintage or something. I like that a lot better. So yeah, of course he has a clean plate or a symbol of he on there. Right, turning it around, see that, and it is wider, so I'm assuming there's a wider chest. And so let's see, let's check out the chest. So to remove this, looks like there's two buckles up here, we're just going to pop apart. And then dropping down, you have two other additional snaps on the left and right side. You're just going to snap apart. And then you can see the rear part of the armor pulls off the back. And then back to the front. The front piece is going to pull off. Now here's a closer look at that armor off the body. Right, so there's a front and the back. Right, and here's the back piece. It looks like inside. But, of course, this strike plate. So it looks like there's two little tabs in there. I'm guessing it's going to push out. Okay, yep, from the front. And that's what the front of the armor is going to look like without the strike plate. And then here's a closer look at that strike plate piece. And now here's a closer look at the alternative strike plate piece that they give you with the sword or axe slash across the single one again. We're not getting a double one. And same deal. We're just going to bring the armor back in and just snap it in place. And now here's another look at the armor once again, but I snapped it all together off the body. And of course we have our new plate with the strike or battle damage in it. And now, taking another look at He-Man with the battle armor off, or no armor on at all. So check that out. Yeah, we get the larger buck and chest design, which I think sort of goes back to that Skeletech figure or something like that. I think that's a much better look in chest for this, for Revelation or Masterverse He-Man, or Revolution He-Man, excuse me. So far, this is a win-win with this figure. Good head sculpt, you know, chest, and a removable battle armor. So, before we go forward with the articulation and all the other setups with this He-Man, I wanted to bring in a quick comparison, which I'll do a lot more later on. So this is the Viking-style Masterverse He-Man body. This was basically my first release He-Man. Now, mine has a custom vintage Aspire head. I changed the loincloth over, the boots, the bracers, from the first He-Man that had this head, because the skin was very yellow. I wanted a decent He-Man. The Viking style had a better, the skin looked a lot better and all the features I showed you. So that's my He-Man at this point. It's going to be my new He-Man now with the Masterverse. He's taking charge. But I just wanted to make a quick comparison between sort of legs, you know, now the arms, as far as the arms, they look pretty much the same, but that chest design. So yeah, it's completely different. Looks a lot better, right? There's the front and there's the back. So you can just take a look at that and get an idea of the changes in the chest, buck, and, you know, what was changed and what wasn't. Okay, so putting the battle armor back on his He-Man with our new chest plate in with the single strike. We already went over the head, how it, you know, comes off and goes on real easy. Just goes on, two snaps, pushes together well. So to finish up the articulation, so with the battle armor, of course he has the ab crunch, but you're not going to do that with the battle armor on. You can spin at the waist. Taking a look at the arms, again, it's the same exact Masterverse arms I showed compared to the first Masterverse He-Man. And as far as the articulation with my figure, we can go up, down, forward, back, has a bicep swivel, can bend at the elbow. Now my elbow is really tight and stuck as far as it's going to go, but enough to bend up towards the face. The other arms are all the same, right, with the articulation. Let's test it out. Seems okay. So the right arm comes with a single gold wrist bracer, and it is a single piece, not part of the sculpt, but a lot of these I noticed, like my Triclops, are pegged or glued on. If you wanted to get them off, you could. I'm just going to leave it for a moment. On the left arm, it comes with that long wrist bracer that the first Revelation He-Man came with, but now instead of yellow, it's painted gold, so it's a little better detail. And this He-Man comes with two semi-weapon gripping hands, I like to call them. But the one on the right side can go up and down instead of back and forth. Of course, it can spin. And then the other hand, that's also closed, can also spin, right? But this one has the hinge joint that can go in and out. So, moving down to finish up the articulation, we know he spins at the waist. He has a typical Masterverse style He-Man belt and longer loincloth. Okay, so the same exact one that this first release Revelation, or this was my Viking He-Man, but this was the Revelation belt and loincloth that I removed and put on his figure. So you're getting the same thing. The brown color is very similar, but now the belt is painted in a metallic or shiny gold color. That looks a lot better instead of that Filmation style yellow or something they were going for. As far as the leg articulation, right, so I can go all the way out with a split. Joints feel really good. Kick forward, go back, bend all the way up at the knee. Has that thigh cut. Now, does he have... Well, the joint system's a little different. Yeah, like those drop joints that the Trap Joe had or something like that. So, okay, you're getting better articulation with those. I think that's what they are. Of course, he can spin at the boot. I already said the knees has this knee. Go all the way back. All right, that's good. Yeah, just the same exact He-Man boots as the first Revelation. Again, I'm going to bring it in, or Viking. Well, these were Revelation boots, sorry. Same exact ones. Colors even look the same. These might be a little darker. So you get those, and you can always heat these up and take them off if you wanted to. Both exactly the same. And then the foot, same type of articulation, right? And go up, down, and rock side to side. So before we get into accessories, any other armor for this He-Man, I just wanted to bring in a quick comparison with the first New Eternia Battle Armor He-Man against our Revolution Battle Armor He-Man. So if you're not familiar, this was pretty much the first version of the Battle Armor He-Man we got. Yeah, totally different armor setup. You know, it's sort of reminiscent of this style, but there's a cut. It's it's all part of the sculpt. You know, it's his overall buck. Had a chest plate that, you know, a couple of them that popped out, and even the size of those are completely different than this one. And this was like that light, cheap, gray-looking color, you know, to where this is that's the color I think Battle Armored He-Man or Battle Armored should have. So moving on to accessories. Now, of course, we know he comes with a Battle Armor setup, which we already looked over. He also comes with a spare pair of punch and fists for the left and right side with the hinge joints that, you know, turn in and out. Yeah, it would have been cool if he come with an open shield or karate chop hand, I call it, for the left side. Because I think we need one of those in the Masterverse with the larger pegs. And I haven't seen one yet, but this is what they give him. So for his next accessory, he comes with a new style battle axe. That's really cool. Look at the sculpting, the paint details. And I don't think we've seen anything like this in a Masterverse line yet. Now here's the latest or most recent battle axe that came with that Battle Armored He-Man with the New Eternia line, and the 40th anniversary He-Man came with something similar to this. So it was a quick comparison with those two together. But yeah, I like this new style axe. And then for his final accessory, so of course they include the iconic cross armor. Now this one is a little bit different as far as size compared to the first Revelation release. So here's the first Revelation release cross armor, bringing that in. Now the H symbols, the H of He, looks like they look very identical as far as sculpting, paint, and even the front of the plate. But this armor, the newer one, is larger up in the straps, both the top and the bottom. Then the Revelation one has a different design, how it snaps together. Yeah, I like this. This looks a little better, I think more accurate to the cartoon than this, what we originally got, and how thin it was. Okay, so bringing He-Man back in once again with no battle armor. Obviously I took it off. Let's put this cross armor on, so it looks like you don't even have to take the head off. You can just snap this piece right over the head and tuck these two straps to each side. And then taking a look at the back, so now these little tabs snap on the buttons on both the left and right side. And now there's a look with the cross armor strapped to our new Revolution He-Man. Yeah, I like that a lot better. It looks better, even the color, and the way this snaps together in the back is a lot user-friendly than this. I mean, not this wasn't that hard, but sometimes these things, they get stuck. It's like you pull your fingernail apart, you got to heat them up, you know, depending on a figure armor, but I really like this. And then as far as the ab crunch or cut with this new cross armor on, the articulation, so he can only bend about that far down and back. He could twist a little bit, and of course twist at the waist. Yeah, it does hinder. These straps are kind of tight, and with the larger body, so when you bend forward, you can see the resistance in these two straps holding it, so the articulation can't go all the way forward. And now here's a quick look with the axe in hand, the cross armor on the body. Alright, so I took the axe out of hand, and of course he does not come with a power sword, but this was the power sword from that New Eternia Battle Armor He-Man, which pretty much he should have come with. It's the right color and everything, match something close to that axe. And now there's a look with the iconic power sword in hand, raising it, saying, I have the power, or by the power of Grayskull. But what's interesting is, yeah, the articulation really can't go up that high. So they give you this hinged, you know, joint in the wrist to hold this sword up a little better than a typical wrist with his head. But yeah, it doesn't go up that much as far as my figure. So moving forward, before we do some mixing and matching of parts or part swapping, of course I had to put our new Revolution He-Man on the Revelation Battle Cat. Because He-Man and Battle Cat, just got to do it. Yeah, this Battle Cat always had a weird saddle. It's just too wide. It depends on the figure, and even with the improved articulation with the Masterverse figures, it's kind of weird. It's like they get hung up with the loincloth. That's kind of the issue here. It's just pieced back. You can, let me see. All right, it's kind of the best how I can position him or sit him on there. It's looks like he's sitting off. Yeah, I don't like the saddle on this Battle Cat. But anyway, if you have the Revelation Battle Cat and get this new He-Man's, what those two look like together. And now here's a look with the new Battle Armor He-Man on the Classics Battle Cat. And I put the Battle Armor on him just to mix it back up, something different. So we'll take a look at that. And yeah, he fits this Classics Battle Cat much better. It's just a better design with the saddle, and yeah, they look cool with Masterverse or Classics or Origins, whatever you want to put on them. And now moving on with mixing and matching of parts between figures, maybe some heads, armor, stuff like that. So once again, of course, there's a Revolution He-Man all broken apart, has no armor on. And this is that first release, Viking style He-Man, my custom He-Man, right? Showed earlier in the video. Everything is the same as I already mentioned, except for, of course, he has a smaller buck. So let's see what this He-Man would look like with this battle armor and the newer style armor on this body. And now here's a look with that battle armor on the first release Revelation Masterverse style body, or the Viking He-Man body. Take a look at that. And of course I have a custom head on. Doesn't matter what. I'm just, I'm not going to get involved with head swaps with this guy. I already did that in another video. But so we have the battle armor on that style Masterverse body with this He-Man. Of course, well, he don't have the regular chop hand, excuse me. He says a regular one holding the shield. And of course he has the first release power sword, but looks pretty neat. Works good on his body. And now here's a look with the cross armor on my custom He-Man with the first release Masterverse or Viking He-Man body. So yeah, it fits really well. A little bit, a little looser than the Revolution He-Man, which makes sense because he has a smaller buck. And of course, you can see, right, how small this one, which is originally on him, compared to this cross armor, which, yeah, I like a lot better because of the color and just the extra size in the 4 straps. So for the next comparison and mixing and matching the parts, or at least the armor pieces, right? We have the Master Universe Classics, first release He-Man, or second release, because the first release had like this red in his eyes. This was another one. Anyway, against the Revolution He-Man, with, of course, no armor on, so you just see the overall size and designs. Yeah, let's mix some parts around as far as the armor and see what that looks like. So now here's a look with the Revolution He-Man with the Classics cross armor on. If you want to try something like that, it does fit. You had to force it a little bit back here because it was tight, but yeah, it looks cool and it works. Here's a Classics battle axe that He-Man had. So if you want to mix it up parts with some Classics on this body, it can work. And now moving back to the Classics He-Man. So of course I put the Revolution cross armored on his body. Looks really good and fits perfect. And his axe in hand. So you want to put that armor on Classics. Works well. And now here's a look with that battle armor, of course, on the Classics He-Man. Now that, I'm having a lot of trouble trying to fit. I can get it like up in this top corner, snap this section. I can snap it on this side, right? But then when it comes to the other side, see that, because of these big lats hanging off, I can't get this together without really forcing or heat. And then this section too, the head too's kind of hindering it. Maybe if I spin the hand that way. Let's see. You can sort of force it, but then it pops over here. So I want to say yes and no. You probably have to heat it up, stretch it, mess around with it to really get it on. You probably get 3 snaps on, and you're going to have one loose. At least what I see on my He-Man, or a particular Classics body. And now, moving on for next comparison. So, of course, we have our Revolution He-Man with the cross armor back on at the moment against our 40th anniversary He-Man with that typical cross armor. So, let's see what parts we can switch with those two. Now, here's a quick look with the Revolution He-Man with the 40th anniversary cross armored on the chest, his shield in the left hand, and through the sword in the right. So once again, you want to use that setup off the 40th anniversary on this figure. It works really well. And then with the same exact setup on the Revolution body, I just want to throw that 40th anniversary head on the body, the armor. Yeah, the whole setup, that's what you're interested in. I did like that head. It was a good sculpt, very vintage inspired, but the paint in the face is really weird. Didn't match any of the body. It was mixed for a lot of figures. But anyway, it's that setup. And now, moving back to the 40th anniversary He-Man body, and put the head back on. So, of course, here's the Revolution cross-armored. Yeah, it fits, but you can only get one side on. Let's see. I could snap this side on. The other side I can't get on. The body's too big for this particular cross-armored. And then, of course, taking a cross-armored off the 40th anniversary He-Man body. Let's try the battle armor on that body. Yeah, no way. Push it there. Let's see. That's the front piece. Try to put the bat together. Yeah, not even close because of the buck. Get maybe one strap on, but there's no way it's going to work without a modification, putting pieces in here or something. Nope. Okay, so we pretty much tried parts between those two. Yeah, I can't get this battle armor to fit on that 40th anniversary. As just, you've seen. I thought somebody online said they made it work and it does fit, but I heated it up, tried it. I can get one together. Yeah, it doesn't work on my figure. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. The other point I wanted to prove too. So going back to the Revolution He-Man, right? So you could say I pulled that hand off. Probably should have done it earlier. This piece does come off if you're not familiar. And I took the hand off the 40th. The reason why I did that is because being at the 40th is a new style He-Man too. Going back to the hands, see the 40th, both He-Man and Skeletor had the Origins pegs. It did not have these larger ones. I kind of forgot. I didn't remember. So I was like, that would be cool because now if you had the 40th, you can get an open hand, which a lot of people want for these newer Masterverse, figures like the Triclops and He-Man with just some kind of tan skin, and just put it in that side for a shield or something. But nope, they're totally different pegs. It's not going to work. And then going back to the 40th anniversary, He-Man once again with the cross armor back on. I just have the sword in hand. I want to put that Revolution head on this body. So if you like this body, cross armor, whole setup, check that head out from the new He-Man. That looks really good. And even the skin tones with the wash matches his body a lot better than the head they gave me. And the other thing I want to show why I had the 40th anniversary He-Man out. So of course we have the cross armor on his sword. And this is a Barbossa custom new Masterverse head that's supposed to kind of blend in or fit the 40th anniversary of the Masterverse He-Man figures. So now here's a look with the head on that 40th anniversary He-Man body. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that head. And now real quick, I just threw that battle armor back on the Revolution He-Man body. I also want to try that Barbossa Customs He-Man head that I tried on the 40th. And that looks really good too on this body if you didn't like the head it came with. There's a little hinder though by the hair in this particular battle armor, but yeah, it articulates and looks great. Now, once again, here's the head on that new Revolution He-Man body, but I just threw his typical cross armor back on. And yeah, the articulation works way better now without that battle armor. And you can see, so going back to this head, let me focus in for a second. Yes, I really like this design, but see, I like how the mouth is painted open, a little bit of teeth showing, a battle-ready face. I feel like this head would have been a little bit better if it was sculpted like that, or you came with an alternative head with the mouth open. And lastly, as far as He-Man comparisons and part swapping, of course, I have to bring in a Masterverse, New Eternia, Revolution He-Man once again against the Motu Origins He-Man. So let's see what parts we can mix with these two. So the first thing I wanted to do for fun was see if the Motu Origins cross armor, I don't want to put it on this particular He-Man fits. I mean, you get it over the neck, but of course the Origins split in half and the Masterverse figures don't. So there's no way you can get this on. I mean, you can heat take these sections of legs off, probably put it on that way. It might fit. I don't know. It's close. I don't know why you would, but if you're interested in doing that, just wanted to show what it would look like or the complications of trying to make it fit this figure. And now, moving back to the Origins He-Man, of course, I put the Revolution cross-armored on his buck, and it fits, yeah, perfect. Looks really good on this He-Man. And now with the cross-armored still on the Origins He-Man, of course, I put the Revolution head on. I mean, that fits and looks perfect. Even the skin tone, again, matches his body well. So jumping ahead, taking a look at the Origins He-Man body once again. So you can see I'm trying to put that Revolution Battle Armored on this, Origins buck. So I have this strap on this side, the lower one on the top here. I had to take the head off. You can see how, I mean, it's just about there, but how difficult it is trying to get this last snap, and then the head was in the way. Okay, with a little fight and a little heat, there you go. So pretty much the Battle Armored does fit the Origins buck. Got to mess around with it. And then I had to take the head off, put it on. Kind of hanging off the body. It does articulate, but I'm going to take a look at that with the He-Man head. It does work and looks cool. Now we have a battle armor that somewhat fits the Origins body with a little work. And now here's a look with that Revolution head on the Origins body with that armor on as well. So you like that head in this particular battle armor on this body. Could work. So taking another look at the Revolution He-Man once again. Of course, I wanted to try the Master Universe Origins Thunder Punch He-Man setup on this new buck or He-Man with that head. So you take a look at that. Fits really cool. You can even put the little Thunder Punch effect. Kind of push it down over the fist. I just put the shield in hand. And this is a custom sword for the Origins, and it also works for the Classics as well. I think that's how it was initially designed for the Classics. I just use it for the Origins. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And if you didn't hear, so these figures are part of the Wave 12 series. Wave 13 Masterverse has the Thunder Punch He-Man coming, along with Leech, Cyclone, and a Horde Trooper, from what I've seen. And for the last custom and a little bonus, I want to use the Classics Flying Fists Armored on this body, see if it works. And of course, there's two wacky weapons that particular Flying Fist He-Man came with. So it does work. This side you got to push together. It's like, and this side pops apart. The armor's soft enough, does work. It's just this rubber to rubber peg system was stupid. A lot of classics had that. Rubber to rubber pegs never work. But it, you can stretch it and you get it together. It does work, and it looks pretty cool in this He-Man. If you want to have that kind of setup, you have some classics armor, that particular those pieces on this figure. All right, so that was my overall review on the new Master Universe Revolution Battle Armored He-Man figure. Yeah, I think he's a really cool He-Man to add back into the Masterverse line over this original He-Man with the head it came with. Even over the 40th anniversary, I did like the 40th anniversary one, but I like him better with that custom head, and yeah, mine had a weird wash. A lot of people didn't like this big balloon chest. What's cool with this figure, he's kind of in between both of these different Masterverse figures. So, we know the Revelation figures had the smaller chest, which just never looked right in He-Man. This has the larger style chest, again, which a lot of people didn't like. He's in between, so that works well. I really like this Battle Armored, and of course you can see what figures it fit, which ones it didn't. As I tried in the review, it's hit or miss. Some you got to stretch it on, like the Origins Classics. It doesn't work well. Got to mess around with it, but that's a really cool design. I'm glad that he has it. I like this new Battle Axe. Another great design. I don't know why I didn't give him Power Sword. He should have come with a Power Sword. I don't know what the big deal is, but there's plenty of He-Man figures. Put a Power Sword in hand like I showed. So you get the punch and fists. Again, he should have come with a open or shield hand with the right peg in his side, but he didn't. And I also like this new Cross Armored, even though it's very similar to the first style Revelation He-Man Cross Armored. It is a little larger and that looks better. And I like the metallic color in it. And I'm going to put this Cross Armored on that He-Man and then leave the Battle Armored on this Battle Armored He-Man. I think it's pretty cool. And I like that head sculpt too. It would have been a little better if he had a little battle-ready face, as I call it. A little grin, teeth showing like this custom head. But it's not a deal breaker. I think it's a lot better than the first release, Battle Armored He-Man. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that review. I appreciate everybody watching. And until next time, take care.